Welcome to Easy English Talks podcast.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to English Pod. My name is Marco.
My name is Catherine, and today we have part 2 of our series about small talk in English.
That's right. So as we mentioned, small talk are very short, quick conversations about everyday things like the weather, and you usually have this with a colleague very quickly or a friend maybe.
Yeah, maybe not someone you know very well, too.
Exactly. So we're going to take a look at part 2. Why don't we listen to the dialogue and see what's going on?
So, Michelle, let me introduce you to Maria. She's my colleague from Brazil. Maria, this is Michelle.
Hi, Michelle. So what do you do here in Shanghai? I mean, what work do you do?
I work in advertising right now. How about you?
I'm actually in the wine business.
Oh, that sounds really great. I love wine myself. Is this your first time to Shanghai, Maria?
No, actually, I often visit. I usually come to China for business at least once a year. Also, I love the restaurants in Shanghai, so that's a good reason to come.
Me too. Actually, there's a great Brazilian restaurant I recommend. I mean, the food is delicious, but the service isn't so good. I often like to get together with friends and have a great barbecue there.
We should go there together sometime.
Wonderful idea. I'd love that.
All right, we're back. So now let's take a look at some of these very interesting phrases we find in this dialogue in Language Takeaway.
Language takeaway.
So the first phrase we have today is from the first sentence of this dialogue. James says, "So Michelle, let me introduce you to Maria."
That's right. So we have the phrase introduce someone to or introduce you to.
Okay, let me introduce you to this person. So Marco, let me introduce you to my friend.
Right. And this is something that you say when you want to tell the person, look, you're going to meet someone new. Let me introduce you to my friend, Sally.
And this is very important because it's polite and it's a way for you to say, okay, you two don't know each other. Here, this is, this person's name. This is this person's name.
Right.
It's very important when you are introducing people or when you're in a situation with two people who don't know each other.
That's right. Exactly. So let me introduce you to someone. Now, another key question here, I think probably one of the key questions when you meet someone new, you're talking, small talk, short conversation. What do you do here? Or what do you do?
What do you do? So this might sound like a very strange question. What do you do? Do you watch TV?
Right.
Do you like to eat food? No, but this means what job do you do?
Right. What type of work do you do?
Okay, so Marco, what do you do?
I host an English podcast.
All right. Me too.
So this is the question. Now, don't get confused and remember that this is the typical way of asking someone what is their job. If you say, what is your job or
what is your occupation?
What is your occupation? It's too formal and it's kind of awkward. I don't think anyone has ever asked me, what is your occupation?
No, I rarely say that. I almost always say, what do you do?
Or maybe, what type of work do you do?
Or, what business are you in?
Exactly.
So this is our next phrase, actually.
Right. If someone asks you, what business are you in or what industry are you in, you would say, like in this case, Maria, she is in the wine business.
Okay, I'm in the wine business. That means that my job has to do with selling or buying wine.
So if we replace the noun wine with something else, for example, clothing.
I'm in the clothing business, or I'm in the cheese business.
Exactly.
You can basically change it with anything.
With any product. I guess if you sell computers, I'm in the computer business. Or if you have anything to do with computers, you can say I'm in the computer business.
All right, so that's great. I'm in the business.
Exactly. All right. So now we know what the person does. We continue asking questions. We're interested. We want to keep the conversation going a little while longer. We say, oh, wow, that's really great. I love wine myself. Then we ask, is this your first time to Shanghai?
Okay, so is this your first time to Shanghai or in Shanghai? This means, is this your first time to visit Shanghai?
That's right. Now, the preposition here is always confusing for an ESL learner because sometimes do you say, is this your first time in Shanghai? Is this your first time on Shanghai? Now we're saying to Shanghai. So in this case, or in this type of question, both are correct. Is this your first time in Shanghai? Is this your first time to Shanghai.
All right. So I could also say, if we're in Chicago, hey, Marco, is this your first time in Chicago? But I have to ask if we are in that city. I can't say, okay, I'm in Chicago today, but Marco, is this your first time in New York? Because we're not in New York right now.
Exactly.
That could be confusing. So remember, when you ask this question, you're asking about where you are today, right now.
Exactly. Very good. So on that note, let's take a break. Let's listen to the dialogue again, and we'll be back with some more phrases.
So, Michelle, let me introduce you to Maria. She's my colleague from Brazil. Maria, this is Michelle.
Hi, Michelle. So what do you do here in Shanghai? I mean, what work do you do?
I work in advertising right now. How about you?
I'm actually in the wine business.
Oh, that sounds really great. I love wine myself. Is this your first time to Shanghai, Maria?
No, actually, I often visit. I usually come to China for business at least once a year. Also, I love the restaurants in Shanghai, so that's a good reason to come.
Me too. Actually, there's a great Brazilian restaurant I recommend. I mean, the food is delicious, but the service isn't so good. I often like to get together with friends and have a great barbecue there.
We should go there together sometime.
Wonderful idea. I'd love that.
All right, let's take a look at 3 more key phrases on Fluency Builder Part 2.
Fluency Builder.
So one phrase that we heard from this when things started to get a little bit more personal, Michelle said, I often like to get together with friends. So this phrase here is to get together with friends.
So to get together means to be united or go with friends somewhere.
That's right. So we could also use the phrase to hang out. This means you're not doing anything in particular. You're not cooking or swimming or, going shopping, but it just means you're together with your friends. You could be doing anything.
Right, exactly. So even if you want to ask your friend or colleague, hey, do you want to get together after work and have a couple of drinks?
All right, that means would you like to hang out or would you like to go somewhere for a drink? It's very informal and it's not romantic.
Right.
It's just with friends.
Exactly. So if you ask someone to get together sometime, it doesn't mean let's go out on a date. It just means, let's hang out.
Let's hang out. Let's be friends.
Okay. Now, so they were talking about a Brazilian restaurant and James said, hey, we should go there sometime.
Okay, we should go there together sometime is even more personal. This is a really common phrase and one that you guys should remember as a phrase, okay? We should go there sometime. That means that I would like to make plans with you to go to this restaurant.
Right, exactly. Now, if you notice the word sometime is separated. You have some and then apart, the other word is time. So it's very different from sometimes. Don't confuse it. What we're saying here is when you have time, when I have time, we should go there.
It's almost like saying one time or in the future. Sometimes it's different. It's like, I brush my teeth sometimes. That means
exactly.
that not very often. No, that's not true. But I would like to go there sometime means, it's a little bit vague. I don't say when, but I would like to in the future.
Exactly. And Michelle agrees. She says, wow, it's a wonderful idea. I'd love that.
Okay, this is another great phrase. Remember this as a phrase. Would you like to go see a movie?
I'd love that.
I'd love that. So I'd love that. I'd love to. These are ways of saying, I like the idea. Let's do it.
Exactly. So it's usually in response to an invitation
or suggestion.
Or suggestion.
Yeah.
Very good. All right. So let's take a look at our dialogue again and review everything. And we'll be back in a bit.
So, Michelle, let me introduce you to Maria. She's my colleague from Brazil. Maria, this is Michelle.
Hi, Michelle. So what do you do here in Shanghai? I mean, what work do you do?
I work in advertising right now. How about you?
I'm actually in the wine business.
Oh, that sounds really great. I love wine myself. Is this your first time to Shanghai, Maria?
No, actually, I often visit. I usually come to China for business at least once a year. Also, I love the restaurants in Shanghai, so that's a good reason to come.
Me too. Actually, there's a great Brazilian restaurant I recommend. I mean, the food is delicious, but the service isn't so good. I often like to get together with friends and have a great barbecue there.
We should go there together sometime.
Wonderful idea. I'd love that.
part shadowing practice, small talks in this part of the lesson. You will listen very carefully and then repeat after me. You don't need to make any notes, and there's no quiz for this part. Shadowing is an exercise where you listen and speak at the same time, or just after the speaker. It's a great way to practice your pronunciation, rhythm, and fluency. So let's get started. First, let me show you some useful phrases that we often use for small talk. These are some very common and useful phrases that we can use when we read talking in small groups. So let's listen and repeat them one by one. The first phrase is hi. How are you? When you meet somebody, the first thing you normally say is, hi, how are you? Repeat after me. Hi, how are you? Nice to see you. How are you? Very good. Now, normally people don't really want to know how you are. It's just a polite thing to say when you meet somebody. They usually respond with, I'm fine, thank you. And, what's your name? You can also say, nice to meet you, if you're re-meeting them for the first time. Nice to meet you. The next one is, how's your day going? This is a little more casual than how are you, so we can use it with friends. We say, how's your day going? Let's repeat it together. How's your day going? If they ask you this question, you can say, it's going well, thank you, or it's not too bad, thank you. You can also say, my day is going well, or my day is not going well. Remember, if you're talking to a friend, it's a bit more casual, and we don't normally say thank you at the end. But if you're talking to somebody that you're not so familiar with, we always say thank you. At the end, the next one is nice weather today, isn't it? This is a pretty common topic for small talk because everybody likes to talk about the weather. For example, if it's raining, you can say, oh, what a terrible weather today, isn't it? Or, oh, what a beautiful weather today, isn't it? Let's repeat together. Nice weather today, isn't it? If you want to be a little bit more casual, you can say, isn't it nice? This is a contraction of is not it, and we put it together to make the word isn't. It's like this. Isn't it nice? The next one is what do you do? This is something that we often say when we meet somebody new. We ask, what do you do? Repeat after me. What do you do? Normally, we use this question to start a conversation. There are other ways to ask the same question, but this is the most common one. You can also say, what do you do for a living? The meaning is exactly the same. When somebody asks you, what do you do? Or what do you do for a living? You can say things like, I work in sales. I'm a teacher. I'm a doctor. I'm a student, etc. I work in sales. The next one is, that's interesting. That's another one that we can use with our colleagues or friends. We say that's interesting when they tell us something interesting. For example, when your friend tells you that he's going on holiday, you can say that's interesting. Or if she gets promoted at work, you can say congratulations. That's interesting. Let's repeat it together. That's interesting. Have a great day. Have a great day is something we say to friends. We say it in the morning when we go to work or school. Let's repeat it together. Have a great day. You can also say this to your family members. Instead of saying have a great day, you can say have a wonderful day or have a fantastic day. The meaning is the same. So these are some of the phrases that we can use for small talk. Now let me show you a short dialogue. We're going to use some of these phrases in a dialogue. In the elevator, let's listen and repeat the dialogue. A. Hi, how are you today? Repeat. Hi, how are you today? B. I'm good, thanks. How about you? Repeat. I'm good, thanks. How about you? A. Pretty good. The weather is nice today. Repeat. Pretty good. The weather is nice today. Yes, finally some sunshine. Repeat. Yes, finally some sunshine. Okay, so let's go through the dialogue once more. A. Hi, how are you today? B. I'm good, thanks. How about you? Pretty good? The weather is nice today. B. Yes, finally, some sunshine. So you got that? Good. Now let's listen to another dialogue. At the coffee shop, let's listen and repeat the dialogue. A. Good morning. How's your day going? Repeat. Good morning. How's your day going? B. Not bad. Thank you. Just getting some coffee before work. Repeat. Not bad. Thank you. Just getting some coffee before work. A. Same here. Do you work nearby? Repeat. Same here. Do you work nearby? B. Yes. In the office across the street. Repeat. Yes. In the office across the street. Okay, so let's go through the dialogue once more. A. Good morning. How's your day going? B. Not bad. Thank you. Just getting some coffee before work. A. Same here. Do you work nearby? B. Yes. In the office across the street. If you liked this video, please subscribe. Also, click on the notification bell so that you receive a notification whenever I upload a new video. Now you have two options. You can either download the PDF file which contains all the dialogues from this lesson, or you can read the dialogues straight away right here on the screen. Well, if you decided to download the PDF file, you will find the link in the description box below this video. Inside the PDF file, you will find all the dialogues from this lesson, plus a short biography and full-color pictures of the author. Okay, now let's read the dialogues. So, as you already know, this lesson is all about small talk. We learned several phrases that we can use for making small talk, and then we practiced them in two short dialogues. In the elevator, A says, "Hi, how are you today?" B responds, "I'm good, thanks." "How about you?" A says, "Pretty good. The weather is nice today." Then B says, "Yes, finally, some sunshine." And now let's listen to the second dialogue. At the coffee shop. A says, "Good morning, how's your day going?" B responds, "Not bad, thank you. Just getting some coffee before work." A says, "Same here. Do you work nearby?" B says, "Yes, in the office across the street." These were the dialogues from today's lesson. As you can see, they were quite easy. If you've watched my previous videos, you probably realized that my dialogues get gradually harder. What does that mean? It means that in the beginning, I teach you really simple sentences, and then as you progress, your level gets higher and the sentences become more difficult. For example, in the first few lessons, I taught you basic sentences like "Where are you from?" "What's your name?" "How old are you?" and so on. These are really common and useful questions, but they're also quite simple. However, in the later lessons, we start using more advanced grammar and more complex sentences. Well, what I wanted to say is that if you feel that the dialogues are too easy for you, you should go back and review the earlier lessons because they are perfect for beginners. And if you feel that they are challenging enough, keep going and you will see that your English will improve a lot. Thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, please leave me a comment and let me know in the comments section below this video. See you next time. Bye.